again. This is that was an interruption in the program just now. Babylon I work hard, but right, well, yeah. As I was saying, I have worked for every one of the elder them in terms of putting in service where it calls the Iron service. What I find is that the third and fourth generation have turned on the first and second generation in this strad. The difference with the third and fourth and the fifth generation, they is trying to like erase. For example, at one stage, Capleton they put a fire upon Mortimer Planner. And him never know say a man like I exist. So when him come from a trad here in England, I confront him. At the time when I confront him, there was like 25 man round him, guns drawn. But he didn't know that those guns were my guns. I never know that. And I went and speak to him and point out to him, say, you have on fire upon I old man. But look around you. It's my security. And him drive off and leave him van right mirror left on my foot. Then him go down and him go for Bungo man and him come forward and send come call I. And I tell him to come forward, party me come tonight and see I, because I am still there. The long and short of it, him come pan a show and I man going to the tour bus, a reason Bojo, and when him come off of the tour bus and come off of the stage and come in the tour bus, him come see I. I had him reason and him set the record straight. But what I point out to him is that he was at that time he was of the opinion that the fire where my burn, which he did burn a fire, that he must start that fire. And I have to remind him, say, no, you not do nothing new under the sun. You not start nothing. You are talk about fire. I literally hold people and throw in the fire. At NYAHBINGI. So you attack about fire. Yeah. I come from the dark there. When man I get thrown in a fire.
I think they did have a thing named Nanny, where you did have to dance, and if you wasn't in control of yourself, then they throw you in the fire. Some kind of thing like that.
Yeah, well, you see, like I said, when I reason a practical things that I man participate in. The reason why I can't reason this way in a fire, I'm going to tell man, because man I wonder, same thing that they go in a rasta. When I get captured, I get captured when we were a cult. So all these things in the trial, it come out. So I man not talk nothing no way. No Babylon can come knock my door and arrest about because them know how the thing is set. Now, the third and fourth generation, they are resetting the thing without connecting the thing. And that's where I'm having problem. Because I never beat down the first generation where them with that set. I never beat it down. I endorse it. But step away from it. So Bongo Water, Bongo Time, Sam Brown, Fox, them man there, Gadman, all them man there, a church them bill. I was a part of that too. Only that we never I embrace the church, but we are Rasta. What I've been trying to show the item that when the king come to Jamaica, the king come find one Rasta. We didn't go at the airport like Bobo. Because there was none of that. And one Rasta did go there. It's after the king come and send the church, the thing get fragmented. So whatever it is today, I'm just trying to show where it stems from, so other youth can still get that free movement to be themselves, because the elder them never fight down I and I, the second generation. They never fight I and I down, and I never fight the first generation. What I'm seeing now is that the third and fourth generation is leaning on their own full standing and their own research. So most of the things that the item I say now is true from a spiritual, divine perspective. But I come from the practical. And from the practical, for example, I say, boy, you can't promote violence or army or these things, and it's true, which is true. But I can talk to the I know about these things. That this is not the platform we are on now. Because on the platform, you have a lot of fragile people on the platform that take certain words and just lean upon the word. And that's why I hear them I say, boy, the breaking of this the key. The breaking of this the key. So then now I say, what actually I say where the liberty was. Not dissing the king, because the king rule in a I man life is the Godhead. I now look at the Bible now to say, why are the king in the Bible? I already established that three part of the Bible when we were in the dark days. People want to know why we grow relaxed and we say Leviticus 10. And people want to know why we say His Majesty is the Godhead at the Psalm 68. And then we show them.
Hold on there. It's a Congo rainbow here. Bless them up. Congo rainbow this.
Rastafari.
Him live every time.
One family.
One perfect love.
Yes, man. Just give thanks until sometime again, you know?
Yes, I. Bless up yourself and see you traveling the gravel.
Rastafari live. Give thanks.
Every time.
Yeah.
Him look familiar.
So my Asian.
Him look familiar.
Yeah, Lizard Town, man. That's why you see me just conveniently in line with what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, if it's a Lizard Town, man, him know the trial, man. Him know 1976 or the ballot box going into
Mm.
And I want I.
But we did take in fact that the eye was locked up away during certain time.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying, my Asian, is the time that I'm here, there's a lot of things that has been transpiring around the NYAHBINGI house and the movement in general. So we have to be particular in what we want to share information. Example, the stamp and seal, the president situation, and a lot of things that has been happening that a lot of people have been speaking on. And I have really heard a perspective that is coming from the actual ones who was involved, because as a record keeper, for example, the stamp and seal situation, in any organization, you know that a stamp and seal is within the secretary portfolio because he has to give an account of what is stamp and seal, what is written or what is proposed, you know. With the indigenous president, Sizzla Kalonji, that is another issue, even connecting to the stamp and seal. And I think even going forward, we should cover some of the things that already passed, that going forward, we will understand that we're not bypassing or trying to cover anything at all. So that is what I was asking you, what, before we move on, to even encounter where our present situation is, because what is important now is that I am a lineage of my uncle Blackheart, Abuna Blackheart, used the lineage of the great planner. Prince Jesse is the lineage son of Prince Emmanuel. Rastani is the lineage son of Bongo Time. And we are here even today as a younger one to the eye to represent what especially our family was involved in, for example, the great Abuna Blackheart. You know, he is responsible for a lot of things that cause a lot of things to break up. So it is my duty to see then if I could even try to assist to mend some of the things that he didn't accomplish, whereas he did accomplish quite a few. Jesse, the son of Emmanuel, he's also responsible for straightening up the bubble house and make sure that we're moving in one accord. You see, and Rastani, Bongo Time's son, he's responsible for carrying out what his father was intended, was trying to achieve. So that's where we are today, as you know, we're reality speaking. So it's an honor, and I want to say again that I did dream. Mortimer Planner is my father. I did do a lot of things with him in university. I actually turned over all of my documents in his room, in his cabinet he had in his room, and gave him the key and make sure. But he did give the key to Irie Irons and mess up everything. Irie Irons went in the safe, and certain documents, I never seen them again and interrupt the program. But after he was my father, I was there at university during the global reasoning. It was under his observation as well, and that's why I gave him all the responsibility for the documents. So, you know, so after he passed, I did have a vision with him because I vision all the Asians. I vision Watto, I vision Time. Georgians just passed, even Congorai. I vision them. So I did get a vision with Bongo Planner, the planner, telling me that he's not dead. I was up on a hill, you know, in a nice countryside, and he's telling me that he's not dead. So today I see that vision coming through because I'm here really in the presence of Mortimer Planner, son, and it's a privilege, you know, so give thanks.
With respect, it's before the old man passed off, yeah? He did a program from the cross to the throne. Was the eye at the UWA for that program?
I'm not sure, but there was a few programs where he was brought in on his wheelchair to speak.
Well, I think, and I have questioned that before, but I will have to go and revisit the program because I am sure that that's the first time I heard the name Juna Marvin. And that was Juna Negos. So I don't know if it's Juna Mervin or Juna Negos, but it's a Juna that did give a talk at that program from the cross to the throne. Dr. Yanni was there. Sam Clayton was there. Philip Abaranga was there. I think at the time, Rex Natterford was there. Barry Evans was there. Arthur Lewis was there. All the big wigs. I think most of them have passed away now. But with all due respect, the eye at one stage was the center of the seal. of the movement and the passing around of the seal. As I have said to you earlier, because I always come from a political angle. The seal is essential from a spiritual angle. So I have noticed that, with all due respect, it's the first day I come forward on a platform because I have been monitoring. I think that I had made some sound on Kaboo already.
Yeah, a little.
Yes. But feel free now to go into, to free up thyself now as to the eye involvement surround the seal and put that to rest. That's where I come from.
Give thanks.
Yeah. Feel free
Yes,
now
sir.
to express yourself how your involvement with the seal, what it costs the eye to actually take your responsibility for what you have done in that section. Because that's the next thing when most Rastaman won't do. Take responsibility for them action, whether right or wrong. Because that's what I do, you know. I take responsibility for all the things that I have done, whether it was right or whether it was wrong. So the people can feel our energy. So I know now how I did involve with the movement of the seal.
Okay, give thanks again, you know, glory to word, glory to sound, glory to the power of the ever living, you know. We give thanks for the NYAHBINGI and we give thanks for the priest. I don't profess to be a priest. I'm one of the scribes that keep a record, you know, even though I can operate as a priest, but I do the work of the record keeping. Yeah, so the seal, I give thanks to speak on the seal. Because I don't want to take too long. I'm going to try and speak as fast as possible.
No, man, don't do that, man. Feel free, man. This is I program, a Rasta program. This, you know, we don't have no, we can. Me no under no order, me not work for nobody. Man, give the eye the free vibration for relax. Now, think about things because things this couple years ago, that's why sometimes I stop and pause because me no want just run over things. Make people can overstand and feel that thing. Because we can break it up afterwards, but lay the foundation.
As is. Yes, because the seal is very important. So it's very easy for even Ayman to even speak fast. I don't have to think about what I'm saying because I am the record. And one of the ways to keep in records, the Asian taught me, is to reflect on what really happened. You know? So it's a reflection, is not trying to say what is right from what is not. But one thing I wanted to be permitted to do is to, because I was saying I didn't want to call name of anyone, but I think it would be best for me to call the name of everyone so that nothing is left, everything is clear. So anything I says can be questioned. Yeah.
Stick a point on, brother. That's the next thing that we have to stop, though. We have to stop talk to the public ambiguous. We have to call a spade, put a boy, or a girl, or a guy on the spot because Tom did that, John did that, Harry did that, and I did that. That's how it has to work.
Right.
Yeah. So people can get a full standing.
Yeah, so
yeah.
The seal is an honor because, okay, let me give you how the seal was created. The seal was created by Bingi Arians. He went to America, I think it was in the late 80s, and he collected, they wanted to structure a government. So they collected money in America, and he was given that to create a seal. Now, since he created it, it was in his possession. That's Arians, you know, and he's not really an active priest. He's an elder, but he wasn't the priest, but he was the one with the stamp and seal. I don't know how he used to operate the stamp and seal.
Again, for clarity, is there one seal or two seal we're talking about? Because the vibration that Sizzler went to Bubble Hill and they take off for them seal too. You know anything about that?
Yeah, we could get to that, but
No,
that
we
is
just want to know.
another
No,
issue.
we just want to know if, because I ask the question now, because I hear say it was two seal that get captured by Sizzler. So we want that for clear too. If it's one seal, then it's one seal we are talking about. We will be addressing individual seal if there's two seals. So first we want to know if there's two seals that went missing.
There is a lot of seal, but
No.
we're talking about the NYAHBINGI seal.
Yes, but
we can't.
Yeah, but listen again, fire.
Yeah.
Do I have any idea about the bubble seal went missing too?
Yeah, I have that history on the bubble seal can you as well if you want that first.
Well, it's not a matter of what I want first. What I want to be clear, because people is on the NYAHBINGI seal we hear I talk about. But like I said, I did hear that he went up to the bubble hill with the red, green, and gold rifle and took away the bubble seal too. So it's two seal I hear him take in order to bring the thing in one.
Right, and there is other seals involved as well,
yes,
which
but,
we can do.
But we're talking about Rasta seal, cab. I and I Rasta. So how much Rasta seal is there? Since we're talking about seal. How much seal we are talking about? We know about the bubble seal.
Eventually there was another seal created by the NYAHBINGI. Okay. So there might be two seals for the NYAHBINGI now, and there is one for Bubble.
Okay. That's all I would just want to know, say, Sizzler have two seals.
No.
Him have the bubble seal,
yeah,
and have the NYAHBINGI seal.
Right.
And that's what caused.
And him have other seals as well.
So Sizzler have all seals. Yo, that you the powerful still, you know. We have to give thanks still. And you see, we have to know enough fire. Una there a bash no man, you know. We not, if him is a work, you know, and if him say, and the man him allow him, time couldn't take no seal if no man now allow him to take seal.
Right.
So it coming to I call a speed a speed. Yeah. It coming to I that as I said to the I earlier, the difference with I generation with the second generation, we never think to disrupt nothing that the first generation was doing. The first generation is who went on this church building. I never endorsed that, so I run the church out of Bakawal. It ended up at Maxwell Avenue. And then I as Sparkites, set the superstar, I who set the music industry. The Sparkites, set that. Don't care what them I go say. Everything start out on Wellington Street, Abakawal, out of Chocomolan. And them can't go around that. And from Chocomolan to Bread Lane, superstar, musically, dancehall, everything. And that's why that starts. So that's a different segment. Jayut is there telling his story. Him not in dance badass, car badass too bad. And him no want people to know say him that close to badass. But badass in dancing from day one. So getting forward to the seal now. Now that we established that is more than one seal, and we established that Sizzler have all seal, let's focus now on the NYAHBINGI seal.
Yes. But first I explain how it originated, right?
Yeah.
And it was with, now how I personally personally got involved was in 2000, after the two priests passed away, and Rastafari, who was the elector of record, he resigned. So everything broke down. So at the time, the first mission was to write a letter to the Queen of England, about reparation. So I was given that task, and I was also given the seal to make sure that the letter was properly given the seal by Irie Irons, you know, because he had it.
Which is that one I am
Had
on
the
Virgin.
seal like about.
I am this one I am on Virgin.
Yeah. Is one of whose brethren?
I am on personal Virgin. I am come from Mattisley.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes. Well, he's the one that really, you know, brought me into the thing and even trust me with the seal for like 3 months. I had it until the letter was accomplished. I stamped the letter, and that letter was the result of the Queen's response to reparation. Remember, it was through the public defender. So after that 3 months, I returned the seal to Bingi Irie hands. This is, I was saying about 2000. So in 2003, when I was doing the global reasoning, Rastafari global reasoning, I was secretary appointed in the late hour. So there was a lot of work to be done, a lot of letters to be written. So there was a meeting by the committee up at Miguel Lawrence's house. And because of all the letters that I was structuring, the seal was brought out by Miguel Lawrence. You know, the seal was, because it was at his house as well. So after I received the seal in his house, to stamp all the letters, I'm saying, wait, what is this seal doing here? This is the property of the NYAHBINGI. And as the secretary, it's my responsibility to hold on to this seal. So that's what I did 2003. I had the seal 2003, and I had some other issues with Sizzler. So I was telling him if he was worthy, I would bring the seal to him so that he could cure it.
Rasta. What I actually tell her, you know, from me hear this, you know. So you have to know now, so me the balance of truth. I go on Miguel house, go hijack the seal.
Right.
Good. Go on. I see them,
So
no, we no with fire. I
I
see them
brought this.
with one fire. Miguel, I'm a virgin to, you know. Now you hear 3 years, more time I kick on foot. But I'm a virgin still. So, I don't want, I not going to make the thing look, no, because Rasta, we are the Rasta business, we are clear out. See, a Rasta business, so we not go there trample, no man. And, yeah, because from I don't know how the seal end up at Miguel house, but I can understand why it would have Miguel house. And I established that I got it as far as the record concerned now to do some kind of business to get the stamp, but then declare say as the secretary of the I to have the stamp.
Right.
So the I hijack the seal. Now, maybe that's why you see what we are doing now, you know. We are clear the year now. So Miguel can come forward and him can say whether you tell the truth or you not tell the truth. But him now have to come establish how he may get the seal and if the seal is rightfully moved. So the seal move and the I become responsible for the seal. Because the I identifies that the I move the seal. So go on.
Right.
Go on.
So I took the seal now to Sizzler, 2003. You have to note the dates.
Yeah. But 1 minute.
And
1 minute.
Sizzler,
1 minute. So at that time, what was Sizzler's position at that time for the I to take the seal to him? Was he the president at that time?
No.
So
He was acting as the treasurer.
But Him was the treasurer, but what the treasurer do with the seal? The treasurer not nothing to do with the
Well,
seal.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, break up, and take the story about the
All right.
seal, because in the NYAHBINGI order, is 3 signatures puts on all document with the seal. That is the secretary, the treasurer, and the priest.
Okay.
Understand? So within those 3 portfolios, the stamp and seal should be at all times. Yeah. Well, just to explain then that. But to give the fullness of the stamp and seal, after took the seal to Sizzler 2003, we had a meeting, a bingy in April. So we needed the seal to stamp a letter to authorize the bingy. So Sizzler brought the stamp and seal to I, myself, and George Irons, because that's the first, and George Irons was the priest. He brought it in Mandeville and gave it to us. He was doing a show. So the seal was wrapped into and bound with a binding wire that if it is ever unveiled, that was the kind of order we wanted to keep the seal under, because the seal is not supposed to be applied to anything unless it's, authorized. Yeah. So when receiving forward the seal again, so he only had it for like a month that time. After receiving the seal with me and George Irons, I had the seal at Scott's Pass, brought the seal to Scott's Pass between me and the priest, the seal was in my suitcase where I was staying, as the one who was securing it. So I used to go to Kingston and come back. The first problem over the seal now was any document that needs the seal I have to see it because I'm the secretary, you see. And priests have to see it. And the treasurer have to see it because their signature has to be applied. So Rassasi, they had registered the sabbatical order at Scott's Pass, register with the government. So at one point, he wanted a letter to sign on behalf of the Sabbath. So when he came, I tell him, no, we cannot apply the NYAHBINGI seal to the Sabbath document because Sabbath is registered under a different entity. And, the NYAHBINGI would have to know, is not aware of exactly what your registration, you should have your own stamp for your Sabbath. So that started to create a problem. Next thing, Ras Advai came back into the mix, and because he had left, and now he comes back now to say he is the chairman, and with a document saying he's the chairman, and Ras Kava is the treasurer. So I'm telling him, no, the stamp cannot be applied under that because that's not the way it is. We have our chairman, we have our and it's not you, and the treasurer is not Carver because he had resigned as well. So those things started. So while I was in Kingston, I get to hear that they were searching my room to find the stamp and seal, you see? So, I think there is another portion to the stamp and seal before I come to that, which was the stamp and seal now. There was an event in Kingston. So they request George Irons to bring the stamp and seal for something, I'm not sure. So George Irons took the stamp and seal to Kingston on a bus. While he's in Kingston on the bus, George Irons fell asleep and the stamp and seal fell out of his possession. You see, according to the records, Ras Ivai took up the stamp and seal and says, according to Ras Wickerman, he's one of them who passed away. He was here. His testimony was that while the priest was sleeping and the stamp fell, Ras Ivai took it up and says, this looked like something belongs to the family. So he held on to the stamp, right? For like 4 months. So when he held on to the stamp, George Irons didn't know that the stamp was missing. So he came back to Scott's Pass Ras Ivy and Ras Carver, they come back now with a document to be signed and asking George Irons for the stamp and seal. George Irons didn't know where the stamp and seal was, and they well knew it and had it over 4 months. So he finally revealed that he found the stamp in the bus after everyone came out, and he don't think George Irons is worthy of keeping the stamp, so he's gonna let Bongotani keep the stamp, who is also in Maitland. So Bongotani end up with the stamp and seal. So on Bongotani's passing, George Irons went down there for the stamp seal. Well, I don't have to put in that he was under, I asked him to do that, you know, because the stamp and seal is always my concern. So when he went down there, Tani's wife told him that before Tani passed away, he told them that the stamp and seal must be given to, I think, Ras Sassi to give Ras Ivy. So Ras Ivy, there was a time span, then Ras Ivy ended up with the stamp and seal. So within the Haitians now, council were saying the stamp and seal must be returned, you know, to the priests and the ground at Scott's Pass. So there was an event in Montego Bay because he decided to bring the stamp and seal, and he was going to hand it over when we meet. So when we reach Montego Bay with the stamp and seal now, I'm asking, where's the stamp and seal? Nobody don't know where the stamp and seal was, you see? And a long time passed. George Hines now, as the priest says, he don't want nothing more to do with that stamp and seal, because the time that Ras Ivy, they had it, they could have done all kinds of things with stamp. He don't know what the stamp and seal is doing, so he don't want nothing to do with the stamp and seal. So I still started investigating within the Asian Council gathering. I bring it up in meeting that the stamp and seal we need to know where the stamp and seal is. So one Sabbath, me and the Haitians was at Scott Pass with Bongo Ken, who is the Asian secretary who I was working with, and Bongo Sheffan was there with George Irons. The Sabbath was going on. So Sassy came up to the office where we was with the priest, and Bongo Sheffan, we asked him, where is the stamp and seal? He says, oh, Bongo Ken is up at his house with Bongo Ken, because Bongo Ken was staying at his house. So the priest then tell him that, yo, we're gonna need the stamp and seal right here. So they didn't say, so they call Bongo Ken now, right? The two priests, George Irons and Bongo Sheffan, and ask Bongo Ken, where is the stamp and seal? Because Bongo Sassy just said it was up at his house with Ken. So when we told Ken, Bongo Ken, that he just said that he had the seal up at his house. Oh, Bongo Ken says, oh, I forgot, right? So we asked him to bring the stamp and seal in. So when he brought it forward, that's when I refused to let Sassy stamp the sabbatical letter, and I refused that Ras Ivy stamp a letter saying he's the chairman and Kava is the treasurer. So while I was in town one time, I hear them searching up the place for the stamp to, you know? So I just took the stamp and told George Irons that, you know, I think it's best that the treasurer hold on to the stamp, you know, and he agreed, and that's how the treasurer hold on to the stamp. And with a meeting that the Asian says that he will hold on to the stamp until the office was finished, because the office was in the process. And when the office is finished and we build the port, even like a vault was suggested, then the stamp and seal will be kept there. So that's how, and he brought back the stamp to George Irons. We went on the radio and spoke about these things. And George Ian gave him back the stamp and seal, whatever we use it. He gave it back to him for safekeeping until the office was built. So then now we hear that the office is delaying and Ray, and so it comes in now like the stamp and
1 minute fire.
Huh?
1 minute. You see, where I'm an ear and what I'm an observe over the years, even here in England, is that Rasta have this habit to function while it upon Babylon. It function with rules more than Babylon. Because what I hear is like, as Rasta, they never keep things very simple. It's like a whole heap of complicity and cronyism, like me and you take side and me and John take side, and not na function pan a real democratically type of thing where strict order. It's like, well, make I shan't want go and do that because him are the elder and him to do that. No structure, no dead. So you see, that's why I'm sure the I say, I make the I express the I self about the seal. But none of it now makes sense in my head in terms of discipline and structure.
Okay, I pray thee, my chief. One of the things that why I had to take those actions in securing the seal was in the 2000 and about 2 or 3 up there. They tried to register the house, the NYAHBINGI house. It was registered, and there was a letter written by Miguel.
It is registered.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you see,
2002. I have the certificate. I collected the certificate from the office.
Whose name is it registered?
It is registered in 21 people's name. Even my name is on that list.
Okay, because sources assure say Bongo where the man says like that. I will like nothing there. Soon tell you. Sources assure say the virgin where Iman says that is that loggerhead for the seal. He also registered the NYAHBINGI temple in a him name personal. And register all the suit of the virgin name. Where they live a Scotch part though. Where is Iman what's your name with on the radio over the sea.
Iration.
Who?
Iration.
Iration. So don't tell the virgin name, man. I Boshante, bigger brother. Soon. I
Boshanti, bigger brother.
Yeah. You might never know.
Then would be Ivy,
yeah,
Ivy.
Ivy. So I say Ivy also register all the Bingi chants them in a film name. Is that correct?
Okay.
That him. I'm not sure that where Rasta be coming up. That Rasta Ivy register all the Bingi chant them in a him name.
And
right?
collect royalty.
Wait, no. So at that me sure say now the question when me want post to the eye, when I post to the eye from me and the eye star reason, not even this time, but from that time, is you make mention of Rasta, secretary, treasurer, and priest. But me no hear you make no mention of Rasta having no security. Who did in charge of Rasta security?
Yeah, but we still are finalized on the seal.
Fire.
Yeah.
We just want to establish. Were there someone in charge of Rasta security throughout all of this? That's how we will move on now.
We had
Who was in
we had
charge?
security, but the
No.
security
Who
said
was
that
in charge of Rasta security? 'Cause that's where the serious problem is.
Bongo Money is
Yeah.
one of the leading. But
Yeah,
well,
but we are talking
no,
about, we not fire. We are talking about, because I tell you, in my time, I tell you something. In my time, I come tie up some boy. That me I tell you now. No boy can violate. So we want to know what kind of security Rasta did have them time that the seal are move and security now dip on the seal.
Okay.
That's where the problem. That's
that.
where the problem is, you know. It look like Sizzler they function as president and security, 2 in 1.
Yeah, I drift from the point of the seal. I'm still assure you, sir. The seal was applied to a letter.
No, we hear that.
2002.
No fire. We hear that. And a drift, me a drift fire. Me not drift. It's a significant thing. Even to the, let me show you something. Because we come round to this, you know, because we are look on the problem, we cause the problem. Even in the ancient NYAHBINGI council, right now, where the eyes are part of. I mention security over and over. I'm not hear nothing about security. So all Rasta function without security.
That may I tell the eye again, if there was ever a security from that early time, not lately Bongo Money, because that's another story, but Iman was elected 1996 in the Youth Council, Irish Pen, Bingi, where the brother burned in the fire. You see, I was elected under all the Ishans who was there as the security for the Youth Council.
And as security, how they did function? They did function where you had put out no discipline?
From that portion as security is what led up to me securing the NYAHBINGI stamp and seal after 2005 when it was applied to a letter stating that Jesuit priest Jimmy Tucker was the newly appointed. This happened the 4 months I was in England, 2001. When I returned to Jamaica, there is a letter, stamp and seal that says Jimmy Tucker is newly appointed chairman for the NYAHBINGI Executive Council, who is going to see the Prime Minister the very next day about how many millions for what and what projects. You see, that is another thing that the stamp and seal was applied to. When we call up the congregation, I had to dig deep to find that letter and trick that one Lance O'Shane to bring that letter and gave even Ras Ivai that letter to read in the Bingi in Sunny Hill 2005 when he read that letter and called on Iron's signature was on the letter. George Iron's signature was on the letter. Bongo Ken's signature was on the letter. Ivai is the one who I gave the letter to and wasn't able to receive that letter after he was done. And he read the letter and we called up everyone and says, like George Irons, how could you apply your signature to a letter that state that Jimmy Tucker is?
Fire. These are the problems that I speak about yesterday in the last podcast. Rasta, individually, man can manifest works. I, Jahbunny, manifest already where the Prime Minister in this country divided Marcus Garvey Library 1 year for me to use. The Prime Minister put a team of ministers and call high to sit down and deal with Rasta problem. When I carry that letter to the RUZ, Rastafari Universal Zion, and showed them and said, let's go to deal with the government. You know, when I leave the office where the man them do, RUZ man them do, say, no, we can't have a man like Jahbunny represent we because I'm a dirty nigga, old nigga, I can't talk right. See that? So intellectualism, all the while we fight down when one man build a thing, because with the higher show I now say, even though if the man never authorized to do him do, he was able to get the government to start engage and ready to put forward some kind of funds to make Rasta develop further, only for the item now, out of, to me, lacking a better word, bad mindism, personalityism, to challenge the man, I want to do, crash the program. This is what happens all the time when if a man have vision and can move the move, one move forward, and when other man to say, yo, that Bridging, they move the thing forward. As opposed to say, yes, Bridging, rally around the Bridging and say, come, car, yeah, move. Man just beat down the man, the car. That's the way I go through in this country, you know. That's why I say I'm so skeptical. You see, Rasta House, at one stage, the treasurer, who was a Bridging named Nap, they are prison. And some things fit shuffle. And some man come here in Heartland and carry I go to Rasta House and tell I say, I have to cross out Nap name through that prison and write in I name. And I refuse. So you see, sometimes what we are doing is turning a fire. We are look at the problem and we are going to try to structure ourselves so we don't make these mistakes, because if a brethren now have a sharper iron on the eye, even though the eye let off record. If a Rasta brethren is able to even bore some kind of forwardness in a which part the eye there South Africa right now, if a brethren, just for example, say, could have make connection to the ANC or the whatever party I move, the eye them have to be ready to rally round ones and ones and stop fight down because a man no authorize a Rasta. And we not promote freestyle. But when there is progress Rasta, man should know say, yo, stand down on this man, the thing I go somewhere, rally around it, because what I am trying to show the eye, the government here in this country, 2001, engaged I seriously and was and ready to give I a purpose building for Rastafari. And that never got through because my brethren them, Rose, because I respect, I'm a part of Rose. But when I got to the man them, because I did this single-handedly because of the approach where I'm on tech. And when the government engage I and say, bring your team together, I choose I alone, I go to the Rose and say, sit here and give the man them the folder and say, I this what I do. Let's go now. Only for the man them, whole counts against and say, yo, Bunny can't handle them things. They can't make Bunny do it. And the whole program collapsed. So learn from that. Because me hear what I say now. The brethren never authorized to do none of this, but the brethren get the government to engage and how much $1 million was supposed to spend. Every time it come that money to spend, Rasta get confused. How I go?
Yeah, well, I did put that meeting, and that was a serious meeting when
it would be because a whole heap of million
Chance.
involved. It would be because a whole heap of million is involved. But we ain't not get nothing. Wrong or right?
Huh? The iPhone now come to so straight, you know.
No, I am saying. Yeah, you right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am saying that brethren did engage the government of Jamaica, and the government did ready to engage him with whole heap of millions. When the I them find out that I go on, as the I said the I word, it create a crucial meeting. And out of that crucial meeting, end up no go on.
No, man, I know so. Man. We attend the meeting with the government. It was their irregularities. I'm talking about like 2001 was when I went to England, and 2005 was when we had a reasoning on it. So it already crashed when we had a reasoning. The reasoning was, how could the priest sign a letter that states that Jimmy Tucker is the executive chairman of the NYAHBINGI order? And out of that meeting, it was also decided that these brethren are not credible to be representing, and they were asked not to be representing. So that also leave a lot of responsibility with Iman. No, the stamp and seal has been in Sizzler's possession for a period of time, especially after the Snoop Dogg incident, where they collectively claimed that Snoop Dogg was burying Selassie, you know. So
What
we have to
what did Snoop Dogg do?
burying Selassie. They crowned him as burying Selassie, meaning the light of the Trinity in the tabernacle. That is another issue, but I'm telling you, these are some of the things why the stamp and seal had to be secure. Now, since that time, they created another stamp and seal, and they have used it to do a lot of things which can be criminally prosecuted. So as we go along the way, I am still very proud, not proud, but I don't regret my actions of securing the stamp and seal, because the other one that they created, you cannot give account for what it has done in Jamaica since, even with the ganja business, with the tourist board, the amount of documents that it is signed, all the best. But I'm saying the theocracy seal that INI is responsible for is not going to be used for begging food money to feed Bingi, or no, that's not what the theocracy stamp and seal is. A government thing to deal with government authorized, whether like if we're going to structure some kind of serious issue in the government, for example, like the security section needs to be structured, even how we approach political government. We can't use our stamp and seal to authorize or substantiate secondary government administration. Stamp and seal is for sovereign government. So the only thing it has done since INI secured is communication, stamp letter to communication in South Africa. So no other thing.
So one thing I know, tell I something. They see they themselves as government for Rasta.
When I speak of I myself, I'm not
we're not
speaking
talking I as an individual. We're talking broadly now. So the I see the I self as a part of the government. Rasta.
Yes, a very integral part. You see?
When you say the government of Rasta now, you talk on what forum? You talk say part there's a government in Jamaica, a Rasta government in Jamaica.
I'm talking the sovereign government that authorized, give us that rights in Jamaica as even Rastafari to govern under ourselves, under the Ethiopian.
Yeah, but you see, here we want to get clear now. See? So, I as Rasta ambassador, see? Rasta ambassador, globally, that's where I am seated. I see it as, no, I'm going to show you something. Because I have to over and balance how this ambassadorship come about.
All right.
I is ambassador for the Rastafari nation as it was founded in Jamaica. Right over. So from that angle, I stand on the fundamental principle as I know it. What I have seen is that I said I have function now as a Rasta government. But I now hold the position say is Jamaica Rasta government defend, because you can't defend global when global I take it from I and I. So you have to hold your lane. And the lane is that what you hear I said over and over. I and I build this. Yeah, over what I mean by that? Because we have to lay a foundation. I and I build this Rastafari movement. What I position on that?
Yeah, we understand
No, fire. We not understand it. What we are talking now is globally. This about global. Position.
Yeah.
I and I build this movement. What I position? Because the I is the elect of record. So what is the elect of record position on the movement of the nation of Rastafari, where it originally built?
Yeah. What I'm saying, Jahbunny, is that I'm understand as the global secretary. So therefore, it's not just a Jamaica secretary thing or whatever. Because what I tried to well, I know.
You know, but you can't go global. You can't go global when you not come off of the ground. Because you have to.
Then we're going to show you.
But wait no fire. Wait no fire. You have to establish. Yeah, before we get global. Because this is where the problem is now. True, we in a global arena, we forgot say we build it. So now we have global that tell us how it figure. And that's where the problem is. That's why we can't, not the group talk, we can't talk certain things, because global is a freestyle thing now where man take a music. Some 3/4 man coming a Rasta through by Mali, you know. 3/4 global people.
Bongo.
Right? So
well, I know.
Yeah.
Bongo, we're coming from the grassroots.
Yeah, but we have to fire.
Listen now.
Fire. Wait,
Fire.
We're coming from, we have to establish that. You know, reach global yet. You have to establish the foundation where it starts from. So we can eliminate confusion and eliminate other people that tell us. And eliminate people that take over things.
There's a lot of things that I understand what the I say, but there's a lot of things also what the I don't really over yet that we have a reason and why I could and how I proclaim to be what I am. And this is why the reason. Hold on.
I am not questioning the I. No, I am not questioning the I.
On the program. Fire. I said I bring up on the program to say what I have to say. So I don't expect that I'm coming on the program to be debating with the I on any issue.
No, we're not debating any issue. No, we're not debating. No, don't play with word now. Rasta man, don't play with word. We're not debating or not at all. There are some simple things that we need to establish in order to put forward this movement in its rightful place and stop catering to this global thing, where the global thing is where the mass confusion is. That's why in the open house chat, everything I say becomes an offense, because people is into their personal feelings. We need to back with them personal feelings, come forward to the foundation, establish to the world that I and I build this movement, and it's I and I who will direct the focus on how this movement move from where it starts forward to Africa. Not Africa will tell us how it's set. Not the rest of Europe will tell us how it's set. So we have to hold the foundation. We have to hold no say This movement come
Hold
out of
on
the
there. Hold
Caribbean.
on. My ambassador, I respect,
Stop
but the
being,
movement
stop being diplomatic.
global
Stop being
through
diplomatic. Stop being,
fire,
I
fire.
a reason.
I don't give her a chance for reason, so
I
you
and I
know, go
give
really
enough chance, Rasta. But the I go global and
for
to me,
reason upon the seal. I only reason upon the seal because I am the one with the direct information on the seal. Now, if we have another topic to address, like the global, then you should speak what you're speaking because you're the ambassador of global.
fire,
So that's why I'm consulting with the
fire,
eye
fire,
to connect.
fire.
And
1
I'm
minute fire.
also,
1
one
minute
more
fire.
minute,
1 minute
I'm
fire.
also saying that Rasta become global through even your father, who had instructed Bob Marley with certain message that brought this thing to a global realms.
Yes, but fire, listen now. I is on the program nearly an hour and odd now, yeah? And it's the seal we are talking about, which I did tell you, say the seal I got work out itself. This morning, there was there's a serious thing I go on right now in the whole Rasta International in a Zion, Ethiopia. And
Yeah.
I go in at that. We're going now, so the world can know we're going in Ethiopia. And if anything, we visit back the seal argument, we can't spend so much time speak now about the seal when the more important thing for I is supposed to address now is the bulldozer in down at the temple in a Shashamene. Shed some light on that.
Yeah, well, my view on that, again, as I said, 1992, when the brethren went to Africa to build the tabernacle, they went with the kind of attitude that the land was given and they're Rastas and it's their father, so they can do what they want to do. So they went in there, they ignored the protocol of governance through the EWF, where His Majesty had given the land through the EWF. He also gave them a roadmap of the highway exactly where it was going to build. So when those brethren went to Ethiopia in 92, they did not consult with EWF in any order as to know that where they plan to build a tabernacle is not a right place. So even though it went that way, if we could have persuaded the government to change their plan or whatever, but I personally don't see the sense in trying to create a fight with the government because especially now it's not His Majesty in charge of that government, is some anti-majesty. So they're gonna do everything because of certain simple things, that protocol that wasn't followed as we do things over the years out of order, and then have to pay the repercussion. So that's just my personal.
So what the
thing
eye
on
saying,
that.
the eye saying, then the bulldozer run through the tabernacle right now, and so be it. That's what the eye said.
No, I couldn't say that. But I'm saying in terms of going now to the government to petition the public and to, we have to look into those things to see that, because if the petition could stop it, then, but it's still in a situation where we're not in the right. That's how I see it. We're not in the, we violated the plan of things. So I know that. So, I can't blame the government
Quick
if
question.
they decide that they don't want to. Yeah.
I also see in the group chat that there's a Raspal that is in the hospital now. Which Raspal is that? Is it Priest Paul?
The same priest.
So why do I them refer to him as Raspal Rasta?
Huh?
Why do I them refer to Priest Paul as Raspal? You see, these are the things that I can't understand. Priest Paul is Priest Paul. Oh, Priest Paul become Rastafari. Choose a bingy man to talk about him. It's Priest Paul him name. No, don't get the column. No, me tell you something now. Priest Paul, I want I am a juvenile soldier. You know. You have to know, no. Priest Paul is a Parkite, you know. I want to iron Rasta. They never know that.
Yeah,
Priest
but
Paul, I want to iron. Yeah, and if you touch Priest Paul, you're going to have a whole heap of problem. Yeah, the brethren think the pause, but how disrespectful is for change that the man name talk about Rastafari. Like you know want the world knows the Priest Paul. Who want the Priest Paul now? This is a different segment because a long time we not fight Priest Paul, you know. A long time Bingi a fight Priest Paul, you know. Yeah. So right now, I don't know what happened just now, but Junama, as me touch Priest Paul thing, I see, look what happened here now. Me touch Priest Paul thing, and the next thing I know, him phone the up and pause, and the next thing I see him start laugh, and the call drop. These are the things that I talked about yesterday. So Rasta fight against Rasta all the time. It's coming like the Bingy man, them glad now because, me tell you something, a long time them want to get out Priest Paul, you know. Yeah, enough time them send people up at Ethiopia to undermine Priest Paul. And them foot get broke. Yeah, and every time you hear them talk, Jahbunny talk now, them never know how Priest Paul connected to I. Priest Paul wanna I. Regardless, him name is Priest Paul and is a bubble. Priest Paul come from when it was one Rastafari. Priest Paul come from outer I. Outer Rima Priest Paul come from, to be exact. That means I wanna I. Yeah, you know, can't fight down Priest Paul. Oh, disrespectful. Yeah, because I wonder, when I say Rastafari is in hospital. What do you mean Rastafari is in hospital? And you see all you tall like, me I watch how you go on to, you know, like you take side and I take side. A long time I keep my eye on you, you know, because they call if I talk to you about what I go on. No, Priest Paul in a hospital, and you in the group chat, and you don't call I to make I know, so we can make other ones know say Priest Paul get hurt. How Priest Paul get hurt? Serious question. Yeah. Well, that was my segment for an update on what's going on. But as you can see, Juna Negos, who is the collector record, how him present this thing just now, you can hear clearly that the NYAHBINGI Asian Council is, here he comes again. Blaze up, my brethren. Heal up.
as is.
Yeah, well, tell I what happened to Priest Paul.
You know, I said the phone went dead.
Yes, it went dead just now. We give thanks, we speak on that. But at that works, before me sign off, I come forward. And the phone went dead when I asked you about Rastafari turned out to be Priest Paul.
Priest.
Yes. And I find it very disrespectful. And the first time I ever hear anybody refer to Priest Paul as Rastafari. And I take that like, you know, anti-Priest Paul, because, you know, anti-Priest Paul, you know, I say that I anti-Priest Paul, you know. But I might know say everyone anti-Priest Paul, but I'm telling you why not anti-Priest Paul. Because I know so when we get gunshot. Yeah, because Priest Paul is from the gunshot generation. Yeah, and we put
That's
shot
true.
that boy. Yeah, I tell you that. So I now water down the thing. Enough, the last boy go up there and try to overthrow a Priest Paul. Gunshot him get, you forgot that? And we bury him up somewhere up there in Ethiopia. You have to know these things. So you know, so you can't go up against Priest Paul. If you go up against Priest Paul, you know we get gunshot in England, gunshot in America, gunshot in Jamaica. You know that we will lock down the whole Rasta movement of Jamaica if you not touch
So,
Priest Paul.
well,
No,
so
to know that.
Priest Lenny ain't get gunshot up there, man.
And that me I tell you, cause him they try to go up against Priest Paul. Yeah, that's it there. That's why me get gunshot. And I make you know now, say if you not touch Priest Paul, oh no, we get gunshot globally. Just like come and tell the boy, sister, say him fuck, him can't go nowhere. If you touch Priest Paul, hell and powder house of Jamaica, but heavy Rasta way involved in that. Because we are from the gunshot days. We are not Bible talking and Bible walking. Rasta. Not through him name Priest Paul and Emmanuel. You know why Emmanuel sent him up there? To cool him out. Do your homework. Do your homework. You think Priest Paul a Bible priest? Eh? How Priest Paul get hurt? Is he sick? Naturally and in the hospital? Talk to me about that because I'm very disturbed. And you should know that I'll be disturbed. Priest Paul one eye and eye. Simple. Everybody must have come, we're going to Ethiopia and come back, you know. And them talk to me, you know, I tell you how it always work. When them talk to me, them all let's start beat down Priest Paul. And I never go in the corner, get me, let's tell you, my mouth, you know. Priest Paul one eye and eye, man, now you talk to it. Fix up your mouth. Anyone who a Priest Paul friend can't in and out with eye. Priest Paul stand black a black. Yeah. So what happened to Priest Paul, neighbor? You see the reason?
Yeah,
You see the reason they are go nice, but on the touch one eye and I know a different thing. No nice, this no like now. What happened to Priest Paul? Who hurt Priest Paul? Because I know some of the Ethiopian them hurt Priest Paul. Me know that. Me know say the Ethiopian them now hurt Priest Paul because me don't know how Priest Paul function. Priest Paul are the only Rasta man will get Ethiopian citizenship. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that?
Yeah, but there's certain things spoken about Priest Paul.
Yeah, certain things like what? Be specific now. We're not under no ambiguous thing. We're not try to say Priest Paul sell out. We're not say try for all kind of things. Sell out what? Sell some land? What is the certain thing?
I refer as UNO.
No, when I say UNO, if I said Unanigos, then I will say Unanigos Rasta. Don't get technical and diplomatic with I. You can't hide in this reason. If I said Unanigos do something, I ever said Unanigos did something. I don't know nothing about the eye that is bad Rasta. You know what I say, look while? I don't know nothing
you
about
know,
the
say
eye.
the reception on the phone better without
It's nice, man. I not
the
see the
camera.
I see the eye already, I hide the eye, man. But everything's sweet, man. And it's so nice without a see the eye right
Yeah,
now.
but
So go through.
the I word them did a make a little shot, but now it sound better.
Good. So now that we reach up Ethiopia now, me go calm down and you tell me now what go on Ethiopia, including how Priest Paul end up in the hospital. Go through.
Well, as me share with the messages coming in from Ethiopia.
But fire.
That
1 minute the fire. The eye free for bringing anyone if the eye have somebody up Ethiopia you can call you calling now, you know, you are the administrator now for this reasoning. So if the eye can't get the fullness, the person will send you the link, you can just add them to the reason now so they can come give us the live and direct by Ethiopia. Because so it going on, we don't want to talk about no year we say, you know. Feel free for add that bridge in the man. And make him come tell I and I know. Where go on, which part the bulldozer lick down. Oh, Priest Paul end up in the hospital. Because I don't talk to him, I go call and link Jamaica and make them know, say, yeah, Priest Paul, that I got, you know, as I don't talk to him, I go do that. But I don't want us to tell no one, say, Priest Paul get hurt without.
Rastafari.
Okay, by the house. I think Sister Aymara is on the phone. She's in Ethiopia. Maybe she could
Iris history.
Sister Aymara, I think we're doing a interview with the broadcast of Bad Horse to get direct information on what is happening in Ethiopia regarding the tabernacle. Sorry for just
Iris Sistrin.
bringing up.
Iris Sistrin. Iris. Can you hear right?
No.
She gone.
Yeah, she gone.
Yeah. Well, let's say we have to mind the rumors spread of them, you know, cause try get her again and ask her to let you know she's an ear and ask her to explain what's going on there in Ethiopia and what happened, not last Paul, but priest Paul. What is happening with priest Paul? We need to know what. Yeah. So try her again for you.
Maybe I could
Or try if I have a next one with the eye. If I have a next item with the eye, could have get through to the Bible too.
That would have to check. Hold on, let me try and bring in a different one. Who is oh, Corey is still up there. Let's add Corey. So
and try this system again too. Try her again too. Maybe her line doesn't drop accidentally. You see, there's one thing where I always point out that people like to pass on things, but when it comes for them to actually speak live and direct, them kind of afraid. Them kind of afraid.
Yeah.
So this is why I'm badass. Cause I'm afraid of no guy or no girl.
Yeah, myself. Sister Imara, I think we got cut off. I don't know if it's willfully or what, but I tried to call again because we're not getting hold of Priest Kapinda. We want to know what is happening in Ethiopia.
Rastafari greeted.
Irie.
Greetings.
I am. Rastafari.
Perfect love. Jahbunny at the control.
Rastafari greeted.
I would like to know live and direct what is taking place at this present moment in Shashamene regarding the tabernacle.
Rastafari greetings, brethren.
I remember brother.
Greetings, brethren. We're hearing you.
All right, blessings. In the name of His Majesty. Yes, and I alive, everything, and
Yes.
I healthy.
Irie.
Brethren was hurt. Yes.
Priest Paul was hurt.
And I got hurt.
How Priest Paul got hurt?
Say what?
How did Priest Paul got hurt?
Priest Paul, no. Ras Paul.
Okay, that's all I want to know, the clarification, not Priest Paul, but Ras Paul. Go ahead.
All right. Violation of the tabernacle by breaking down the wall. Total violation. Why? Today is a national holiday. Today is a day the Turk came and take over from the Derg. National holiday. And they invaded the tabernacle. Sabbath. There's fire half a burn. What we need is financial help to go to Addis and deal with it. Wars don't break. We can't change that. But to fight this war, we need finance. That's the situation at present.
So that's all we need right now is finance.
Yes.
Good.
Ones have to go. We have collect. We have a group selected to represent. Transportation, hotels, lawyer fee. It adds up. But we have a winning case. As you can see, it's a national holiday.
Ras, I'm on you with the eye say, and I try process now how to respond to the eye because first of all, I can't see how the one them for their Ethiopia and I look forward to Babylon, the financial help. Second, I can't see how the eye them for that Shashamene and don't have a military wing. I can't see how Rasta for the Africa and now move like how we move on the ground foundation. I can't see how you don't have guns.
Virgin, you asking plenty how?
Yeah, me ask if you don't
You
have guns.
asking plenty. Virgin, not one thing up Africa ain't reached yet, you know. Not one thing ain't reached yet. So don't be surprised.
No, I not sing fire.
There's only a handful here.
Yeah, well, if it's a handful.
The handful.
But the
Yeah, doing the work of many.
No, we not do no work after many. We out here do work same way. Because if me forget some money for good, no, me have to go rob that. Yeah, that me have to go to rob some money. So me I wonder how comes Africa and I think for go rob something too. And that's my head there, no. Me and no Bible Rasta you talk to, you know. Yeah, me and no Bible Rasta. You talk to a revolution Rasta.
Give thanks to your reasoning, brethren. Give thanks. Give thanks. Rastafari. Stay blessed.
Nigos.
Yeah.
And that me I show the eye Rasta, no man can come tell same the Africa call me say want financial help. Me not depend that with no man. I rob me if I go rob some money if I go send to Africa. No, me not depend that. When in Africa, when you pick up on yourself and do it and go Africa. When you ready if you go rob something in Africa too.
Yeah. Yo, hold on. You know what? That reminds me.
No, me not depend that, my brother. May it get spin, may it get lick, may it get my chip get lick. When the man say he need money and in the Africa, which part gold and diamond there? You the Africa, you have a delegation and you have winning case. So you want me sponsor that? No, me not depend that with no man. Me not send nothing go nowhere. Go give no man. Whether you in Jamaica or whether in Africa, me not send. Cause I rob me, I forgot rob that. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm telling you, I pay a coward. A bunch of coward in Ethiopia. But me I tell you the truth, we are talking about a bunch of coward in Ethiopia talk about them that I represent. Represent what?
What on the Jahbunny? Me did help you out there so before you take that route there, you know?
Yeah, well, but I was your platform, you know, so me did humble to make you do what you have to do. Yeah.
Cause me link them up. So,
yeah, but we don't respond. When you're done, them go link you for and say who that they be. Yo, no. Me come no. Jonah, hear this now. Tell you, I say, me can't come water on the thing. Me can't come make a thing. The illusion where I run. Me can't come be a part of that. But ask me name. Me tell you this if me there South Africa right now, I'll me land. Me a farmer team. As old as me a farmer team. We go take something. Cause we need some money. As me land, me need a couple gun. Me I tell you that straight. I'm a land.
That's why I tell you say my approach.
Yes.
Is from the money.
Yeah. But me I tell you say me have the money approach too. Cause me I go rob that. Straight. Me I go rob that. Me I go beg that. And me have eyes to switch back money there and how money move. That's all me watch every day, you know, me there, you know. All of England, that's all me watch every day, money, and watch how money move. And my think that me and money is like rat and cheese. Anyway, me go, money, and that me have a fact. Yeah? Gun. At me land, 2 links, and find out how gonna move. See? And because me is who me is, me I go find people like myself, I'm glad to say, a gun you want 2 gun, yeah? And I get 2 gun, and I get 2 man, and we look for some money there and take some money. So, a man a go tell me say him that Shashamene up in the bush. The money in the bush take way. No, the money in the bush take way. You have to that Shashamene to see where money I move and take away some money and then go to the bush. I say thing when you know. You have to in the shitty to see how things are move. Eat off a piece of food and then go in the bush for hide. No, you can't go in the bush and then I reach out to the west. Attack. I will send you out there.
Well, but we did get a clarity
Yes, give thanks for that.
between principal and Raspa.
Yes, give thanks for that. Yeah, and we get that point here. So we're not that will clarify itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
That and we give thanks for that because that's the thing there. Yeah,
Yes.
principal stand per dominant. Yeah, him stand per dominant. You have to know that. One eye and I. See? But the reason was Irie, and like I show the eye card, now I and I got reason now. When I go back on a seal and when I go back on Shashamene thing right now, because we done burn out all the liberation, African liberation, their freedom, because there's no freedom, there's no justice for I and I. I look a bridging with Kenya and point that out again to say there's no justice for I and I, Rasta. Now we're in Africa. Seeing the struggle is still ongoing, nothing to celebrate yet. Now, with the I know and I just we can't be afraid to reason. Like I showed you earlier, I said, this I now got reason now. Now that I realize that I can't call you direct and reason with you. We can't hide and certain things we have to go say because of the real. Now it's real time. Nobody now hide again them true feelings. Everybody stand on them square. So now I have to look now how the I stand. As a member of the NYAHBINGI Asian Council, I have to go look focus now, say the council will need security. The council will need a security wing. The security wing, you have to go find some man where I think like I Jahbunny. Yeah, because you have enough man that think like I right there, you know, but I just do the eye now. Through the eye, through the Bible talk and the whole of them kind of talk there. So the man them feel like I and I. Nah, feel.
Well, I know, well, you know say there's a big pressure upon I from that side there, even yesterday. You know? Man, them want to move. Them want to move, but yeah, but
where them want to move go?
As a NYAHBINGI, we can't get it in at the middle, can we still show you some try to sort out certain little things as NYAHBINGI.
Yeah, but Melayan.
If they could really help them, you know.
Melayan.
Yeah.
You know, hear what I say from get go. I and NYAHBINGI, I is one. I already point out, say, the problem with this trad is that most one try to suppress this side of the movement and going forward like it's just Bible with a walk to go on with it. So no man now embrace the security aspect of the nation. I can't be no lamb to no slaughter. I can't be where we gather, and when we gather, we don't have no army outside to protect the flock. In the dark days, I point out, say, we always did have, because I show the item, say, the first generation is who feel the hottest pressure. The second generation pick up gun. And from that time till today, we always have guns. Now the guns gone out of control. We need to take back control of the guns and the youth them in the street and stop going like we and them are something different. Here in England, you know, me stand per dominate with the youth, them, you know. Me no youth afraid of me, I'm not afraid of no youth, you know. No care much gun them have, you know, me them amongst them, you know. Because them gun is not to shoot. I is what them identify as them father. So what I am trying to show the I say, I have to find a way to set up a military wing. We have to have protection. We can't just attack what Bible we attack out and make people think so we are lamb to the slaughter. We have to have a defense. Look on the nation of Islam. You think a lamb to the slaughter that make a boy try run up in a mass and see how much gunshot them get. You think them can repeat the Malcolm X thing from Farrakhan? So I them think that I have to start look on fire. You can't just say, yeah, I elect off record and boy and I leave everything for just protect I and I. No, we have some soldier. We're ready to slap it up to protect I and I. And this type of reason I can't do it from the group chat. Because I get paid fire burn.
Matter there.
Guys, so me there?
All of them, they soon deal with
Yeah,
King because as me should say, finance, economic, because we're not intending, and I hope I don't get any repercussion from even reason so on the levels of taking
we give thanks. We give thanks fire. But you say, oh, I man reason you think I man give a fuck for where Babylon think, or when no other guy think, or when no Christian think, or when no Jew think. I don't have arms in this time. You know, if I not see another world, we are going to the world. People just get up and target certain people who are lamb to the slaughter and go shoot them down. And that's going on right now, you know what going on, you know. A man not even too like we are, you don't even have to hurt a man. A man just figure say, yo, you don't like them Rasta. Hey, what to stop a boy to walk in a bingy camp and turn on a machine gun? What to stop them? You have to think about collective security, Rasta. That's why I'm sure say I'm in land right now, South Africa. Guns up. Yeah, me come a bingy, when I see me gun. Me not come for come war with you know, but me not left my gun. A dangerous zone in the Rasta. A poor land in the know. I don't know if you know one of them. I talk about Bible. Bible, when you do church, that's what they say for that. But on the physical, if a boy walk up on the NYAHBINGI camp now with two M16, when I go to a flat, them go flat on no. I don't know how much move you wanna say. Where the boys them just use machine gun and just wipe out the all of them. I wanna learn from that. Learn from that. So that's why I'm sure the I say in the group chat. I don't to go so if the I say me not respond to the group chat, don't think say me not have nothing to say. Me just don't want me tired of people talk about fireborn me and we can't take this kind of talk over here. So me just easy. That's why that's the first day when they call me. And I ignore you know. But I do some different work. And I realize that drain me now with it. Because many reasons I don't know, so you know some of the reasons I show you. Not all of it. But I know you know some of it is practical and true. But because of your position and how you set in a departed and the holiness. Because in Bongo Water, you know, Bongo Water know, hey, the last bingy me attend the Bongo Water, you know. When I go there, a boy named Moya ball out and talk about. Take off your hat. And when I say fire burn a hat, the whole bingy get quiet. And when I go down, I go to talk to Bongo Water, you know, Bongo Water said to me, say, Bonnie, why you come here and mash up the people them things? Hey, listen with the elders said why. him at the elder and the being, you know, listen what him say, a stone's bridge with there. And hear what the elder said twice. The man, when the man them hear it, the elder, not them time me just come from Africa, but just bongo not what on see me like nearly 30 odd years see me, yeah? And when me go down there, bongo what I look for me and say to myself, Bunny, why you come here to mash up the people them things? You hear that? I bring you with there, you know.
People they what?
And say, Bunny, why you come here to mash up the people them things? See that? And I reply to him and say, say, Bongo, what up? This is a public building. Them don't know I. Them see me discipline on my royal outfit. And a guy go tell me take off my hat. And he don't know if me the king from Africa. I say, Bongo, what up? I know your yard me come. When me come in your yard, me know say me fi left that out on the street. Because I can't come up under the banner with that. You see that? You hear me say look while? When me a go in a Bongo water yard, me know say me fi left that out that street with the man them. We out that street.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
All of that, yeah.
Eh? No, because I discipline. We know say when we go up a Solomon Wolf camp up a Waterhouse, we know say we can't carry that na Solomon. We can't carry it under the banner. We can't carry certain things under the banner. So we leave them things out the street in the man them yard neutral ground. You over? So there is discipline. This is what not true I man me tell you, not true I man name badass. There is discipline in the thing where you have it. You can't violate. You can't violate certain discipline when you move within the realms. That's why I'm sure you say the second generation did always give enough respect to the elder them. We wasn't unruly to the elder them. The elder them could have sent come call I and I anytime and tell I and I to hold it down, behave with self, and certain things and we just know say the elder them are reason and we just hold it and gone. Like me sure you say, a 3-word me, my father get from me. Yes, dad, no, dad, okay, dad. We not question the elder upon certain things. Because them know best. But we know what I and I know, and we are going to do as what I and I know for do. And that is the difference that is going on now with the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th generation. Them not take no talk from the elder. And that is why, like in a Jamaica now, the youth, them, the 3rd and 4th generation, they don't have no respect for 1st and 2nd generation. So that's why Kalanchi they try to talk to me like me my size. Because him thinks say, me are one of them elder now him could have tough talk. Say him have him 100 yang rider. Which part me come from a Jamaica? No yang can't come down my lane. Yeah. You have to know that. No yang can't come down my lane. You get gunshot in your blood clot for you turn around the corner to come down my lane. Because true we know say fiend boys them pan yang. We blow away any yang. You have to go walk, come down my lane. And you can't walk, come down my lane, come look for me. Who you? Where you go? You see? So me know one of them elder way a guy can come talk to and intimidate and feel say me I go stop talk. I bet before this honor, I and I did say that. I and I did say that before this honor. I don't know about what your generation, the generation after deal it right now. Eh?
That's true, man.
Yeah, I don't know where the 3rd and 4th generation. I don't know where them are say. You know? So that's why I said I am sharp my hand, you know, so I not disrespect the youth, you know. If a youth a come to I and I come to I right, I go know say yeah. Because I the same way the elder them before the and I, because I did humble and show the due respect with the elder them I forget. And that's all that's all I require from the youth them. I not tell a youth say how him to move or how him to live or him to come follow him and footstep. I not depend that. So Rastaman, It was Irie, you know, and I feel free. And like I said, I go be more circumspect in the group. You know, I have to keep in mind say it's a group and the people them fragile. Yeah, them
Yeah.
fragile, you know. So June and Egos, give thanks for the clarity, give thanks for word, and give thanks for sound.
Give thanks for the eye.
Rasta live.
Mhm.
Irie?